So, multiplying and dividing rational numbers. So, there's really nothing new that we're learning here. We're reviewing decimals, we're going to review fractions, and we're going to review the integer roles. First off, I'm going to put a circle down here for my answer, and I'm going to do my integer role. Mixed signs, my answers is going to be a negative. Okay, now I'm going to actually do the multiplication. When I do multiplication, I don't need to worry about lining up the decimal points, and I don't worry about the negative sign. It's already down in the answer. I'm just going to multiply, and I need to think that this one has one decimal point and this one has one. So I have two decimals, which means that this is 1.23. And let's see if that makes sense. When I multiply a number by something smaller than 1, my answer should get smaller. And this did get in magnitude smaller. Let's look at the next one. Here, I'm going to multiply these. These are like signs, an even number of negative signs. Even number of negative signs is going to give me a positive. And now I'm going to multiply it by 5, 6. In order to multiply a whole number by a fraction, I need to make this one a fraction too. 30 is the same thing as 30 wholes. So 30 over 1 times 5 over 6. And 30, I can really think of that as 5 times 6. And so then I can find an equivalence of 1 here. This 6 will cancel out this 6. And I'm going to do 5 times 5, which is 25. 1 times 1, which is wholes. So 25 wholes is 25. Let me check and make sure my sign is right. I have an even number of negatives. My answer is going to be positive. Odd number of negatives, my answer will be negative. Even number of negatives, my answer will be a positive. So if I had -3, -2, and -1, that would be odd. So my answer would be negative. But if I had an even number of negatives, my answer would be positive. If I had like 4 of them, something like -3, -2, -1, -5, my answer there would be a positive because I have 4 of them. 4 of them's even. This just means divide. So that's -4/5 divided by -7/8. I'm not learning anything new. I'm going to go ahead and put my answer in the box, a negative and a negative. That's an even number of negatives, so it's going to be a positive. And I know from my roles that this is the keep, this is the change, and this is the flip. I do not divide fractions. I multiply by the reciprocal. And I'm not even going to worry about the signs. I've already dealt with the sign down there. I'm just going to get rid of the sign. Let's see. I do see some equivalences here. 8 is 2 times 4. So I can do some cross canceling. 4 and 4 cancel each other out. So I have 5 times 2, which is 10. 1 times 7, which is 7. So my answer is 10 sevenths, or I could make that a mixed number. So that would be 1 3/7. This one here, I just need to remember how to multiply mixed numbers. My answer has an odd number of negatives, so my answer is going to be a negative. Before I do this, I need to do the step of making them improper. So that would be 8/7. I multiply, then add. Okay, so that's 1 times 7 plus 1. And this one right here would be, I ignore the negative sign. I've already got it down here. This is 1 times 3 plus 1. So I'm going to multiply first, add second. And so that would be 7/3. And I've got some cross canceling I can do. 7 and 7 cancel each other out, making an equivalence of 1. 7 divided by 7. Anything in the top cancels out anything in the bottom. Multiplying straight across, 8/3. 8 is being divided by 3, which would give me 2 for my whole number, 2 for the numerator, 3 for the denominators. These are the same number. Let me go ahead and put the 2 2/3 here. Remember, it was a negative because I have a odd number of negative signs. And let's see, this one is the exact same problem. Answer's still going to be negative, but this one has a division sign in the middle. I'm just copying down what they were improper. I'm ignoring the sign because I already put it down in here. And I'm going to flip this one. Why am I going to flip this? Because this is a division sign. Remember our division rules. Okay, we multiply by the reciprocal. Keep, change, and then flip. This is the one that flips. This is my keep. This is my change to multiplication. This is my flip. So that's 24, and that's 49. Okay, so it's 24 over 49. Nothing cross-canceled here. There was nothing on the top that matched anything on the bottom.